So, before further ado, just need to double check that this stream is actually happening. So it doesn't look like I have any messages, so that's good. So we are officially live. Why all the fanfare? Well, rewind an entire week, minus 4 minutes, and I went live. And I streamed The Last of Us for 2 hours, chatting away, giving away probably the best advice you would ever have come across. But alas, it didn't actually work, so it didn't broadcast. And all that wonderful knowledge just went out of my head when I was asleep. So now you've just got this random gamer on live about to ramble on about what he's thinking in the game, what he's thinking about taking pictures, with a tiny little idea, a little seed if you will, which I hope will come and blossom into a beautiful flower. And what that idea is last week on stream, as I normally do, I took some photos. And I pretty much remember all of them. So the ones that I actually posted, because there was one other window that I didn't post. So with those pictures, I'm going to see if I can find a more interesting picture on that location. So that's part of what I'm going to do today. So without further ado, let's start things off. I mean, you may be wondering how I'm going to do that. Well, because you guys missed out on my stream, I thought I wasn't that far into it. I'll just start again. Got exactly to this point, which is where we left it. Well, we actually left it a little bit further on. But either way, this means that the series, for those of you who are watching it in the future, will not miss out one part of this game. So you've got all of this to watch. So I've cleared out this area. And the window shot, if you're interested, I'm not going to take it.
There's stairs over there.
Stay low.
Because it was quite challenging. Was this window here, and I feel that the trees frame it really, really well. Now, the reason I'm not going to take it is I don't like the lamp here in the shot. And when I roll it, I don't really have the option bar to have it in. So as you can see, I'm as far forward as I can be. I can zoom in a little bit, but not a massive amount. And as I say, I just feel that in the frame, yes, it's not on any of the crucial parts, but I just don't really like that light in it. So rather than go through all of that, I'm just not going to take it. It didn't make it to Instagram, so I don't think it will really add any value. This picture did make it to Instagram. So it was just me walking, well, Joel walking down the steps. You have the American flag, and you have the destination, as you would have seen in the video that I made. I'm in a more interesting way, because you don't... Okay, I just ruined that. Oh well. What I was going to demonstrate is that you don't have to follow the movement you're doing. You can just go to different locations, you can pose your characters, because it's a computer game. There's nothing to say that you have to stick with what other players will have seen while playing it. Well, this is something that didn't happen last time. I walked past these without being even slightly aware that there were those things to pick up, and that's simply because I went through here before. So let's put the light on. Here's Ellie. Won't have the light on for long. And that's the problem with playing through this again, is I actually know what's going to happen. So, gameplay wise, this may look like I'm absolutely brilliant at this game, but no, I've literally just played this last week.
How the hell are you breathing in this stuff?
I wasn't lying to you.
Did you spot him? No, the place is empty. I didn't see anything.
Search the area. Let's find them and get the hell out of here before any clickers show up.
Okay. I always keep quiet for those of you who don't know when there's any sort of cutscene. Unless you guys are talking to me, then I'll obviously remain polite and answer. Don't look this way. Now.
Fuck. Not here.
Right, let's creep up behind this guy. The more observant will notice that this is on very easy settings, but the whole point of this is to show the story for those who wish to watch it, and also, language Ellie, to take photos as well. So one of the shots that I'd got, and I was just doing my usual gamer thing of checking all of these for anything to pick up. Ooh, actually, talking of which, just need to have a look down here. I cannot remember exactly if there was anything here. Which there is not. Okay. Sorry, Ellie. You walked for nothing. I just had a little thought there. Here's something I potentially have missed. Can I get you to rotate round? Yes. No. Because what I was hoping to do is use the window as a frame for him, but it won't allow me. So one of the things that I was looking at, and unfortunately this light, which is very, very harsh, got in the way, but I really liked the rust on these lights. So I did try and get that to no avail. So, ooh, I don't even know what that is. Oh, okay. Don't really care about that. So we could try getting these. And I want to have... Oh, really, I'd like to have a better angle. But let's roll this first. Because I don't need to muck around with the lights and so on. Can't zoom in, so we'll do it this way. Really, I want to tilt it up slightly. Well, I would have liked some more orange in that. And I know I can put that in editing, but I mean rust. That's what I'd like. It is quite a nice... I think they call it patina over in America, but there is some nice surface rust on there. But I don't think that particularly makes for an interesting picture. I'm going to try... Oh no, that is maximum zoom. And bearing in mind with a crop, I can probably get rid of the window for this. But the angle, I just cannot get the angle I want. So I'm not going to muck around with that too much. Excuse me, itchy lip. Let's There's nothing in that train. So this was the second picture that I took. It was in this. No, it wasn't. It was actually that first train. So, can I get a better picture in this train? So he's got some better light on him. But not quite there. So we're going to go around him. We're going to zoom... Oh. Well, we'll set this first to, I think, 50. We are going to zoom right out. I mean, I enjoyed the other picture. I thought that it had quite a good feel to it. So that dictates the image that I'm creating. So what I'm doing, and I'll remove all of this, or the menu and so on. So what I'm doing here is I'm setting Joel up as one of the brightest elements in it. I kind of like Ellie's face there actually, so I may slightly adjust it. But what I also want is the doorway behind Joel to act as a frame behind him as well. You've got the ceiling that's acting as a leading line, and I'll most likely crop it so that a lot of the bottom of the picture will be sacrificed rather than doing it sort of in the middle and balancing it. So I want more of the ceiling to act, as I say, as a leading line towards him, and together with the frame of the door. Now I just need to move slightly more across, so I don't want Ellie to be a distracting element, something on the edge of the screen which can be untidy, really. And it's something that one of the guys who watches me, and I'm not going to give away names, had said about keeping an eye on all of the image, taking notes of the edges, and it's something that I am very guilty of forgetting to do. So I get so absorbed in the picture that I want to take, or the subject to get the right angle to get the expression I want, or to change their, through your perspective, so the angle that you're looking at them, to get the best out of whatever expression they have, that I just forget about the edges. I mean, part of that is because I tend to crop, and I know a lot of people feel that you should be taking the best picture and not editing it. But for me, I feel that with that, I mean, I do it quite instantaneously. So after these streams, I edit my pictures because I want to get them on Instagram as soon as possible. But really the best thing to do, take your picture or pictures, wait a day, go back to them, look at them properly with a fresh perspective. So you're not in your photographer mindset, you're in your editor mindset. And you can subjectively look at the image and go, okay, so these elements are crucial. They really help add the narrative or the story to your picture. However, I don't need, say, the light on the floor. I don't need as much as that. I don't need this, I mean, not for this example, but if you look to the bottom of the screen, which is going to be the left of the image, you can just see the railing. And if I take that out, if I can, it would make it a cleaner image. So sort of like that. Now the reason I'm not doing that. Although I really like how that train's now a leading line to Joel. But the reason I'm not doing that is it acts as a really nice frame on Ellie. I'm now looking at the two elements, so the line on from the train leading on to Joel, and seeing if I can do that and use the frame of the two rails to emphasize Ellie, who looks rather forlorn. I don't like how close she is to the post, but I don't believe there's any other way of doing it without using that. And I feel that loses something, because you don't want her too prominent in this image. Whereas something like that, maybe a bit higher, works, I think. So how that's different from how I first set this up is that all that door frame is doing now is framing Joel's head. I still really enjoy the particles, so the spores in the game world, and that's something that attracted me in that first photo. Was you had Joel with a little bit of colour behind him coming through the doorway, but you had this spattering, like a cloud almost, of the particles just in the roof part of it, because the rest of it was too dark. There wasn't any light to shed them. Whereas this is far more extreme, and I feel that that gives far better context to the mask that he's wearing. I like how the light's playing on him as well. I mean, it's not doing the obvious thing of just on his face. I feel that the shirt really accentuates that light. It just works really well with it. Yes, his leg is a little bit blown out, but I don't feel that it's too much. And again, you would expect that with the very harsh light that's coming through. And for those of you who've been watching this whole stream or have played the game, I like how the watch is accentuated in this image. So all I want to do now, if I can remember the controls. Sorry, I've just been playing Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I'm going to increase the intensity. Make sure, which I'm fairly confident I am, that I've got max details on Joel. Now I'm going to drop it back, because all I want is the light coming through the back, so through the doorway, and to sort of make out the leading line going to the center of his head. And I feel that that makes a more interesting, it really creates a separation between him and the background. So again, I'm going to take a little look by hiding the menu, and I am happy with that. I am happy with Ellie, her expression, her position. So that is the first picture. I am a little bit disappointed that I didn't get that first one, but new streamer, relatively new streamer, and I will get better as I go along.
Hey, I can't swim.
We'll figure something out.
Mm-hmm. The second image was this one. Now, I don't believe I can improve upon it. What I liked about it, here we are, was the dangerous combined with her facial expression. I really felt that it was a nice, strong contrast. So how can I change that? I'm going to reset this tab. I'm going to zoom in as much as I can because I feel like I don't have enough movement. No, I genuinely do not believe I can improve upon it. I'm going to try this straight on. Going to drop down. Going to do the roll. So this is a wider crop. But that doesn't matter because I can zoom in. Again, you've got the leading lines. I'm going to accentuate those if it will allow me to. Should do. No. So what I was going to do is use the cross to accentuate it, but no, I'm going to use framing, more of a framing technique. So I need to drop that down. I'm going to have it pointing at her eyes and see how that works. And that does kind of work. Again, little innocent little me. No, I'm not dangerous. Not at all, Gov. Don't know what you mean. So I rather like that. It's a very, very subtle change on the previous photo. I feel that there is better light on her. I don't know how that's happened, but I feel that there is. It's just slightly softer. I feel that that works really well. So I'm going to set that up. So depth of field, generally quite happy with, because if I go too far, really glad I did that. So now we know exactly where the focal point is. Not all of you guys will need to do this. As you can see, my eyes aren't what they used to be, and I may or may not have remembered to clean my glasses before going on stream. Again, I was playing Shadow of the Tomb Raider. So putting things on maximum intensity when you're doing depth of field, it just makes it easier to find it. So once you've got your point, you can just reduce it down. And again, I want dangerous to be clear. And what I'm trying to do, because that's very, very sharp, you've got a lot more particles in it, whereas if I bring it forward slightly, I mean the intensity up slightly, I want, there, it's just about to lose focus. I'm going to bring it back, so that is much, much clearer without too much pollen in it. I keep saying pollen, they're spores. Fungi have spores. So, one thing I forgot to do, remove film grain. Now, film grain is something I prefer to apply later on.
Evening, Chief. Light on her face really good hyphen really like the right side disappearing into shadow.
Thank you,
nice
sir.
Nice framing.
Really appreciate it. Thank you. So what I'd done was I actually reset the game. So I started again and I got right up to the point of the last stream that went live and I'm attempting to retake the pictures. And I'm remembering what you said, sir. So I'm checking the edges as well. So I'm really glad that you like it. And yes, I was just saying before you came on, I love the light on this. So I'm just trying to tidy up the image. So I feel that it is quite clean I just need to rotate that a little bit. But I don't want to lose too much of the framing, but as you can see, that little block, because I like that angle, but that block was too much, so I'm just cleaning it up. I like the post, and I'm most likely going to use that on the bottom third line, which is the right one. But yes, I really, really appreciate you reminding me of that, because of course you're a proper photographer, so you know these things, and I am still learning and appreciate any sort of feedback or advice. Give me a moment, please. But yeah, I did not get this light last time. So what I'm doing on this stream is I'm revisiting some of my old pictures. Unfortunately, I missed the first one. Trying to set it up, I kicked off a cutscene, but the one you just missed, I feel, even though it's in a different train, I feel it's a better image. And this one, the gods just smiled on me today and gave me this beautiful soft lighting. So all I was doing is looking through the different effects. I removed fill grain because I prefer to have the option to apply it if I feel that the picture needs it in editing, but I don't feel that it needs it. Just looking at the different settings. I'm not going to adjust the lighting because I was tempted to increase the brightness so I can edit it later, but to be quite honest...
I came in at the first photo with the flag, so have been enjoying all these pics. Slightly smiling face.
Oh, awesome. Oh, well, in that case, yeah, you saw me miss it, but no, I love having you here. I really do. It's fantastic. So, yeah, you know what the plan is then. So I'm going to remove this, take the picture, and I feel that this is a better angle on her than how I had it. I like the fact she's more facing us rather than facing towards the light where I had in the other one. I prefer the framing as well. So, yeah. And this was inspired by me getting back to the point where we had left off, where before I'd started the previous stream. There were quite a few images that I hadn't taken, either because I hadn't thought of taking it, or I had, but I think I was chatting to Coffee Lover Joel on some of them, and just wanted to keep the momentum going. So, well, that's good because you haven't missed anything, really. So you can pick up the action where you left off then. This is a beautiful game. Not just in appearance, I mean the story itself. And I didn't want you guys to miss anything, which is why I decided to play through it again. And I'm making it sound like a massive sacrifice. It was probably 3 hours, something like that.
I'm fine.
Oh, was it? Oh, it was here I'd taken the picture. Ha! That's why I have better light. Good.
Hey, look, it still works.
Huzzah. Okay. So your contact's is a dude named Frank. He's the guy on the outside I've been trading with. He wants into Boston QZ. Meet him in Park Street exit of the subway station right by the Capitol building. Attached is his visa and QZ papers. You like that handiwork? be careful down there. Some of my other guys are reporting clickers and stalkers in the area. Where the hell is this guy? I've been waiting here for over 2 hours sweating bullets. I keep thinking I'm seeing something move in the shadows. Feels like a stalker is going to jump out at me any second now. I'm giving him another 15 minutes and then I'm heading back. As you can see, he probably should have only given him 5 minutes.
You're not gonna leave me here, right?
Never, kid. Joel is a legend. He wouldn't do that to you. Side note, I said exactly the same thing on stream last week and then subsequently died. Because, you know. I feel like there's more in that train. Just going to double check, but I have to be very conscious of oxygen or lack of therein. Nope. Yes. Thought there was. Okay, can I get out in time for him to breathe? Yes, I did just breathe myself then. I get too absorbed in these things.
Anything down there?
It's a dead end.
But I did get a firefly thing, so that's cool. One picture I tried last time, I wasn't happy with it, so I moved to a different location. Was actually, I really like that light. So, I'm going to stay with the close crop. Rather like how that's on his eye. I still think there is nothing here, but I'm going to play. This one will need the brightness increasing. I mean, I'll do this post-production, but just to give you an idea. Let's have a look. Because that's one thing I've noticed about me. It's not just shapes. I like shadows and lights. And I am a sucker for beams of light. Especially when they come through the clouds or through the trees or things like that. I really enjoy them. Now, the brightness I feel has lost some of the characteristics of the light in the background, and I'll demonstrate that. So you can see that it's got a slight green hue to it, amongst the yellow, whereas if I increase it, it loses some of that. It goes more closer to a creamy white more than anything else. There's a hue of green to Joel's skin, which can make him look slightly sickly. So that's going to make things difficult. Now what I'm thinking about is using the S-curve and increasing the value of the highlights in the green.
Good here hyphen the bright eyepiece is distracting me.
Ah.
Like the hard edge on the mask with brightness up.
Ah, cool. Thank you. I don't know how to adjust the eyepiece. Well, I do. I rather liked the the coldness of it, but you are very right. Because what I was doing is I was putting the light onto him, but that really accentuates the, as you say, the brightness on the eyepiece. Because I still want him to be the focus, even though for me, I love the light. So what I'd most likely do is reduce the whites slightly, or drop the highlights, because I don't need that to be so bright behind him. It can be a little too distracting, and then mess with the S-curve. And I'm still getting used to S-curves. Well, I'm still getting used to Lightroom, actually. I've only just started using it in earnest. And yeah, it's a really odd thing. So the light one, absolutely fine with that. You know, deepen the shadows, you increase the highlights. But when you come to the colors, so the green, the red, the blue, it's certainly one of those where it looks awful before it looks good. You sort of break it before you get the good image or get the balance right. But that I'm actually happy with, because I genuinely couldn't get anything out of that. It just didn't work no matter what I tried. Which is odd, actually, because when I'm not streaming, I can put my full attention on taking photos, looking around, experimenting, playing the game. But yeah,
Get on.
I really found
Okay.
I just didn't have the inspiration at this point, so I'm glad that I've caught that.
Be careful.
I got you.
Right, kid, you'll be fine. Let's move along. There we are. And while she's doing her bit, which I'll allow you to watch, I'm just having an explore. Because I did a underwater shot, which was actually, I'll get up and show you, over here. So when I came through underneath the train, that's where I took that image. I could have used that flashlight moment. Okay.
The liquid rendering here is amazing hyphen beautiful textures.
Oh, isn't it just? There is so much attention to detail in this game, and even on the PS3 this game looked good. They had put a tremendous amount of detail into it. So how am I going to do this? Because I don't want to lose those water bubbles. I think I'm going to lose the water bubbles. Oh, it's really struggling. Oh. Oh, thank God I wasn't streaming that. I know it was on. Okay, no. I thought I hadn't turned it on, and that's why I was having so much difficulty. But no, it's just... It's really struggling with underwater. It's decided what it wants it to be, and that's either on or off. So, now it's playing ball. And I feel that we're just going to lose those bubbles, because I'd rather bring it so I've got Joel in focus. No, it's really just going to be a wide open one. So in that case, how am I going to incorporate those? Because they get lost on that side. They just look strange there. Whereas, no, I rather like that. The temptation to go utterly minimalist is way too strong for a mere mortal like me to resist. Because what I was hoping to do is just frame that absolute center of his eye. But I don't think that's the one. Where'd that other one go? Don't tell me I can pop it with my camera. Ooh. What can we do here? We need to do something interesting with that. Oh, the weird things that I do. So I almost want it that he's looking at it. But you need it to be moderately interesting. So that is very strange. So 90 degrees. I now need to reframe that slightly. I also need to, oh, wrong way, pull back a bit to get more of him in the frame. This is either going to work or look terrible. I don't know. I don't think the roll will work. I'm going to have to sacrifice pixels. Oh. I wonder if that's because he was... So I need to be further to the right. There's the interesting little one. But I feel that the water droplets, it's a shame that they rotated with it. So again, let's roll this thing back. Let's field of view in. Quite chuffed that I kept that. And let's really drive that point home. So I want it there, but I want this to be absolute center. I mean, I complain in my mind about trying to do all this with a controller, but to be quite honest, to do it holding the camera would be far, far harder. So I have no issue with that. Ugh. Oh. No. I'm going to take it simply because I put that much effort into it. No, I'm not. It's rubbish. So, we've played enough with that. I don't think there's anything to it. So, is there any other characteristic that can make this a bit more interesting? No. Ugh, keep turning the light on. So this won't work as a image simply because of how close it is. So I would need to zoom out to get this and then to rotate it. But I like him looking at the watch. I know he's not, but that's what it looks like to me. So I'm going to pull right back. That's not how it works. It's the only way to get that angle. So what I'm trying to do is work it so that if I rotate the image, now I just need to get the angle right. So a 90-degree roll, that captures what I'm looking for, I think. There's no way I can get that hand, his right hand, out of the frame. And then how do I go up? That's how I go up. So light absolutely ruins it. That looks quite interesting. That is more interesting, actually. Even as a portrait shot, I mean landscape shot, that is more interesting. Or rather,
yes.
yeah. See, after all this mucking around with silly water bubbles and watches and trying to line it up, that works. So I'm going to keep it so that it is him going horizontal. So I will rotate it afterwards because this only works as it is because of the space around it. So
like landscape.
yes, exactly. So I'm going to most likely do this as its own image. Thinking about it, having him like that, I think it's my Instagram. That's what I'm going to do. But yeah, I love that. That was well worth that time spent just to find it. I am genuinely really happy with that. I did not expect it. Okay, I don't need to go on that. Thank you very much, Ellie.
Let's get out of here.
And this was where I got the other shot, which was about that. Something along those lines. Yes. Oh, don't move, Ellie. So, that's it. Stay there. So the firefly symbol is what I wanted. So I need to move across. I really like that though. What would happen? Oh, I want shadow. I just wanted the shadow. That's a shame. Oh, that would have been perfect if it was just that.
That symbol is significant.
Very. Yes, that's the freedom fighters for it, faction, I suppose you would call them, or group. They're fighting to reinstate government so that it's not under military control. And they're known as fireflies. I really wish I could move further to the left. I'm going to see what I can do at my 90 degree. If it'll allow me any more movement. There. I think I need to go up. Don't even need to mess with it. I think that in itself is a better image than how I had before. I do need to move. Yeah, so I can't place it on the thirds or anything like that. So I just need to make sure Joel's entire silhouette's in there. It's almost cropped at the end. You've got a large part of the circle in there because I feel that that's too much, too straight on. Probably don't need that much of his hand in there. Let's get rid of that. So that's slightly unbalanced, so I do need enough of his hand in there. I'm going to straighten that up, so I do need to drop that down slightly. I want to give him more space in front of him, but I don't feel I'm going to. Absolutely no point doing depth of field. I'm just going to take that picture. I just didn't have this. Oh, see, I love shadows. I didn't have the space to get the angle that I wanted because I got stuck on the fencing back there. Ooh. So, need to line those up because he acts as a leading line. The light is now losing him. Oh, that's just layers, isn't it? It really is. I feel that the framing is a little bit off. Come on, play nice. I seem to go back every time I readjust. What is going on here? Okay. That is doing some strange things. Which is quite possibly why I didn't take this image last time. Ooh. This cutscene lets me finally get my drink. Oh, wait a minute. It also stops me getting that picture.
Hey, look, about Tess. I don't even know what
Here's how this thing's gonna play out. You don't bring up Tess. Ever. Matter of fact, we just keep our histories to ourselves. Secondly, don't tell anybody about your condition. They think you're crazy, they'll try to kill you. And lastly, you do what I say when I say it. We clear?
Sure.
Repeat it.
What you say goes.
Good. Now there's a town A few miles north of here, there's a fella there that owes me some favors. Good chance he could get us a car.
Okay.
Let's get a move on.
And that's why I didn't
There we
get the
go.
picture.
Yeah, it'll be faster to go through here.
Man,
What?
nothing. It's just... I've never seen anything like this, that's all.
Ooh. So... Every time I try to take a picture of Ellie,
Yeah.
I find a nice expression,
It's kinda
and
cool.
then she closes her eyes.
Why don't you just take me back to my room?
If she was up to the task, why'd she drop you off on us?
Well, maybe she's better now.
Look, kid, I don't mean to upset you, but your friend's chances of survival weren't too high to begin with.
She's a lot tougher than you think.
It don't matter.
Just an experiment. Unfortunately, what I was going for was the shadow more than anything else. I mean the reflection. Like that. His reflection in the shadow works very, very well. To the point that I'm scared to adjust it even slightly because I don't want to lose that. And again, it's just one of those situations. I can crop it. So that is most likely what I'm going to do. Just to really make it easy on people to know what to look at. So, want it round about the feet, I think. Let's drop the intensity to round. So if you look at the log, you can slightly see it get a little bit darker as more detail comes into it, and that's the point where I want the image. I know there are rules that I should be adhering to in photography. Sort of like moving to the left a little bit, and I will do my best because now I've got two leading lines towards him, but I'm very conscious that I like the straight on his back, you know, the straight on angle on his back. And if I go any further to the left, I'm going to have to rotate round, strafe round a little bit, and I don't wish to do that. So this is the picture I'm going to take in this location,
I doubt I can get either
which
one of us
I
back in the
feel
city in one
is
piece.
better than that image that I took, which was this bird circling round the Lincoln. And I'm really quite proud that I've not had to load up Instagram and remind myself which pictures I took. So far, with the exception of actually messing up one of them, I've got an example of each location, just slightly different.
Oh, hey, buddy.
One thing I love doing in real life is getting really close to inside of trees, like felled trees or dead trees, and especially if there's loads of moss and dirt that's accumulated inside it. So it almost looks like you're looking into a ravine or a crater or something like that. You can almost imagine in that moss there's like little hobbits or something. And I love tiny flowers as well. I should get myself a macro lens and learn how to do photography properly. But at the moment I'm still experimenting with composition. I really love minimalist type stuff. So working with angles, sort of reimagining the ordinary. No, the ordinary, not ordain. And more times than not I fail. It doesn't always work, but I'm enjoying it.
Worlds in miniature - fascinating.
Yeah.
I was just about to suggest macro. You'll love it.
Yeah. But I mean, I've got.
Oh shit.
Well, I'll show you actually.
Should we climb it?
So I've got the Sony
Wire on the top of it, we can find a way down.
A5100 with just the stock lens, and that's enough of an investment for me, because this was actually going to be my webcam for streaming, because you know, through Ainley and Paddy regularly watching me, and like quite a few other people supporting me with raids, that sort of thing, I was starting to get quite a following, and I was eligible for being a not partner, an affiliate on there. And so I thought, well, you know, do this so I can have a feed on stream, and I could have a nice little bokeh effect behind me and that sort of thing, because, you know, photography. And yeah, unfortunately, my laptop, which is a MacBook, is so old, my capture card is just too powerful for it. So this became a photo one. So eventually, I will start getting new glass for it and so on. But I rather like working with the limitation, because this is a, let me see now, a 16 to 50, and it's got a 3.5 to 5.6 f-stop on it. So it's quite, I think you would consider it a wide angle lens. But yeah, just trying to learn with those limitations to get better before moving to getting new lenses. Right. But yeah, I think it is something I will truly enjoy. So with this shot, I really enjoyed this sign in here. I really enjoyed the flowers, and I'd worked quite hard to get the daisies into focus, but nothing else. What I didn't like was how dark Ellie was in the image. So, how can I improve on that? Again, we've got these lovely flowers. Is the sign essential? We will see. So we'll do a roll. And I know I always stick to 90, but that's not actually essential. Do I like that tree? No. Do I like those flowers? Yes. So I'm going to put them on a third. She is almost central. Tempted to drop down further. And bearing in mind, I'm going to zoom in shortly. No, I don't want to go that far.
Learning to deal with limitations ideal. I started with a full manual 35mm. Had to learn to F exposure, all from first principles.
Wow.
A 5100 Lu.
Yeah. It's, you know, it's got all that fancy stuff. So you set it for, you can set it for aperture mode, aperture priority, shutter priority, and then you do your eye. Whatever one you choose, it will adjust the others for you. I mean, you can do full manual in it as well. So it is quite a diverse machine. Things that I really struggle with is because it's designed to be a vlogger, a vlogging camera. So it's got this brilliant function where the viewfinder flips upwards. So if I was filming myself, I could see myself in the video. This is also a touch screen, so that's really good. And again, this is a limitation for people who wear glasses more than anything else, is in bright daylight, so, you know, not in any of the golden hours, fingerprints are really hard to see through. And the other challenge on top of it is these are reactive lenses, so they get turned to shades, even on a cloudy day. So I would have loved to have a viewfinder on this so I could properly look at it. But that's a me problem, not a Sony problem. I think they've done a fantastic job of it. It really, and it's a telephoto lens as well. So, you know, I can automatically zoom in and zoom out. So I'm really, really happy with it. And I'm starting to get some moderately interesting pictures out of it. If you look on my personal page, because I believe you follow me, most of those are taken on my mobile. But the one in Central Milton Keynes, where there was a picture of, well, you'll tell because there's a really strong bokeh on, because I haven't quite got the aperture right. But I am starting to get the hang of that picture now. I mean, that camera now. And I'm really enjoying, as I say, working with the limitations, but also working out how to do this. Well, not so much the amount, but sorry, doing this in real life, because I'm so used to doing it on computers and computer games. You know, I just move a slider, but in real life, you know, you've got to truly set your focal using the zoom. I didn't know that, so that was quite a bit of an experiment. And I'm trying not to get stuck in, like, you know, for these types of shots you should be at f3.5, or you should be, you know, for landscapes you should be at least 8 or 11. I'm trying to do in between and sort of use it as a creative tool rather than a just look at this bit for me please. So I've really enjoyed that as well. Now I'm trying to work out how to use this because I feel that this image has way too much foreground to it. Again, I'm going to crop it out. But the problem is I rather want those flowers to be a focal point as well as Ellie to balance it. But I'm actually believing what would be better is to put Ellie on the third, which it's not going to allow me to do. So I'll explain it just because I can't do it. I wanted a balance between the tree and the sky. That's what I was going for. And therefore I needed to be slightly round and then further this way But that's not... Oh, actually, is it going to happen? No, that really is a boundary. Okay. And then... Because I'm... This... It's not really a free mode, is this camera mode. It's a... an orbital camera mode. So I don't quite have the freedom that I would like. Can keep that there. And at that angle, she looks a little bit more sassy, I think. I still haven't got the balance on the sky, so I'm just going to rotate. Because as long as she's sort of on that intersection, I think that works. I am... What did I just think then? Oh, yes. Checked the edge. So, sorry, Joel. This isn't your picture, mate. Going to take that image and now I'm going to get her back into position, retake the original image if I can, and oh, that looked really good actually. Oh my days. That's a really strong image. That really is. So, what I'm going to do, that's, I think, 2 I need. Oh, I've messed it up because I can never remember the controls. There's the camera, the light, because I worked out light 2 faces away from Joel. So that really works. I'm already at a really good distance from her. I'm going to increase the softness until it looks a bit more natural. As much as you can when the light's behind her. But we'll brush over that artistically. And I feel that that is much easier to work with than what I had, which was a really dark Ellie. So how I overcame that was the back was really, really bright, whereas she was quite dark. So I slammed down, like really dropped the highlights and really raised the shadows. And that sort of brought the attention to her and made her brighter and the highlights darker. But it still looked... I just wasn't happy with it. So this one I'm happy with. Far better than the one I had before. I fluked out because I feel that aperture is absolutely perfect.
She's walking on that strong diagonal hyphen excellent. I
know. I just couldn't believe it. And you've got the path as well along her shoulders. It was... I'm blown away. That was just... it's a fluke. I'm not going to lie to you, mate. But I'm well happy with that. What are the chances? Oh, yeah. This is why I had taken the picture, actually. And that is far better expression than I had had. So, field of view. It was actually because of the fireflies. Now, the one that's near her forearm was around about her strap. And so I'd placed that on the upper right third. I'm not going to take this. I've already got it. And when you look at it on Instagram, you barely see them, so there's no point in it. But that reminds me why I took it.
Yeah, I see that.
Sorry, I lost myself for a sec.
No, kid, it's a beautiful moment. Been in a city your entire life. Okay. I've just seen the time, so I'm pretty much on par from where I was last week when I was streaming. We're at the same sort of pace because there were quite a few photos I took in this next area.
There we go.
But before I do, these things look cool. Because I really love curves. And not in a pervy way. I just love it. I like that in contrast with the angular lines below it. Quite like that. That's as close as I can get, I think. So that's not really what I was looking for. How can I make that interesting? I don't think I can. Because I'm fully zoomed in. Well, no. Technically, I'm not fully zoomed in. Forcing Z. Aha. No, I've still reached a limitation. So I cannot get what I'm looking for.
Even the metallic reflections are so well done.
Oh,
this
yeah.
is amazing graphics.
It really is. I mean,
You've never been here, have you?
if I'm honest...
I know this is where he lives, but no, I ain't never been here.
Give me a moment.
And that smoke, you think that's him?
Sure as hell better be.
Well, let's go check it out then.
Sorry, I was waiting for that to finish. To be honest, this is the second time they've remastered this game, so I blooming well hope that it was perfect. But even with that knowledge, I still feel that they've exceeded themselves with it. It is such a beautiful game. What I've decided, if I can do it, is... Oh, come on, please, for the love of God, let me get my image. I'm going to use that to hide this rather ugly building. Why? Okay, we'll try it this way. So hide this rather ugly building. Because I want the smoke. I want the church. I enjoy those. Where can I place that? Because I feel that it's just in the wrong position. That is slightly more interesting. Now this will look very, very extreme, and the reason for that is I'm going to lose about a third of that sky when I crop this image. I feel that I just need a little bit more here. Does that work? No, it does need to be close. I wanted to separate it from the smoke slightly, but I don't feel that that's a possibility. Oh, Instagram. Why did you have to limit me? So, yeah, so you've got the pretty much just sky, which has got some little bit of banding in there, so I'm quite happy to cut that off. And there's a little bit of a cloud. What I'm imagining is below that cloud that goes most of the way across the we're going to talk in what we're looking at, so the left hand side, everything below that is going to be this image. That really looks like there's film grain, but there isn't. And I noticed this when I was taking a picture of the sky in, well, last week when I thought I was talking to you guys, but it doesn't translate when you come to actually editing it, so I'm just going to grab that shot. And the main thing that attracted me to this was the shadows on the church with the highlight on the roof and so on. I just thought, in a kind of gothic way, that was rather attractive. And then you've got almost like the heavenly sky above it as well. So I really enjoyed that. Let me see now. No, there wasn't anything up here. Pretty harsh that he leaves a young girl to jump down a building, but he's been through a lot as our Joel. Yeah. Not only do I remember my pictures, I remember where most of the free stuff is. Like a proper Yorkshireman. Even though I'm not. Sorry to do this online, mate, but have you checked your email recently? And we don't need to discuss anymore, but check your emails.
Down here. Just watch your step. It's a good drop.
So the next image I'd got, and I don't really see how I can improve this. I'm going to try. Because what I liked about this is it almost looks like this clicker is sort of deciding what they want to buy. So what I'd done is I'd sort of made sure that these were quite clear, and I worked on the aperture as well, so that they still had some bokeh on it, but they were still a crucial part of the image. And then the lighting was a little bit darker as well. So as I say, it would be very difficult to improve on this. So we've got to look of a way to reimagine it. And I'm thinking like this. No, I do need more of that. So what I want to create is the illusion that you're almost hiding from them. But Joel, your light's on, mate. Oh, it wasn't. Ah. Okay. See why I thought it was. Can I drop down further? And now all of a sudden I can't drop down further. How very strange. So now that's as far as I can drop. So I'm going to use as I've got this limitation, I'm going to use the ledge almost to frame her head a little bit, even though I don't need to because I've got the shelves and so on. Depth of field, and just to make sure I'm doing my 100% thing until I feel that they're sufficiently in focus. Because there's a slight blur on her. There we are. We can drop that. I'm going to move all these. No. I really need to drop back down here so I can get down lower. I can't believe I got that back. That's fantastic. Okay. So, I'm going to use the protruding brick to almost frame her jaw. No. I want more of this. I want the impression that I am very scared and I am hiding. That's quite... I don't think 50-50 quite works, so half of it wall, half of it the scene. I just don't feel that that particularly works very well. But having it just off-piste, the character dead center, it works, but it doesn't portray what I'm saying. Because if you were like truly scared, you sort of try and just enough so you can see around the edge, but hopefully they can't see you. That's the sort of look I'm going for. Like that. But again, that's moved the balance of it massively.
Evening, Chief. Light on her face really good - really like the right side disappearing into shadow.
Ah!
Nice framing. Worlds in miniature - fascinating. I was just about to suggest macro, you'll love it. Learning to deal with limitations ideal.
Very
I started with a full manual 35mm, had to learn to F exposure, all from first principles. A 5100 Lu. She's walking on that strong diagonal - excellent. Even the metallic reflections are so well done. This is amazing graphics.
And that is your entire chat. YouTube has been a little bit strange. Well, it didn't work last week, so I'm not quite sure what that happened, but even so, very valid points, sir. I am happy with that. Okay, so I'm just going to settle with this. It doesn't fully portray what I want, but it gives the impression of it, and you can still see it looks like she's contemplating whether to eat the bleach or the grass killer. Right, and now, just need to check. This does mean that I need to create another... we'll get resources to create another ship, but we've got this one. That's the main thing. Haha! Perfect. So I need to make one of these, another one of those, gonna make one of these as well.
Sorry, I was nowhere near keyboard when whole chat repeated.
Oh yeah, no.
Wasn't me. Gov beaming face with smiling eyes.
Oh, that's it. I'm innocent, Gov. Honestly. But no, YouTube's just having a moment. That's all it was, mate. As I said, it gave me the impression that I was streaming for 2 hours last week. You know, I just thought people just didn't have the time, so they didn't join me. But no, I literally was not streaming, so don't worry about it. And it's just a part of streaming. I mean, Twitch is the same. When you raid someone, generally only half of the people who are watching you will come across. It will just stop. I don't know why. It just doesn't allow the full amount of people to go across. And yeah, there's been many a weird and wonderful thing that's happened with that, so don't you sweat, man. That's just Bill saying that he needs to get some medications. A little note to himself. Another image I took, which I don't think made it, was Ellie crouching down here. I didn't think much of that image. I really like these shadows. I'm not quite sure how to incorporate that into anything. Well, I suppose if it weren't for his shadow interfering, I could probably do a little bit of a... Oh. I was going to try and use it to frame him, but I don't think that's going to work. I've got his light on.
Shadows. Good name for a song.
Yeah.
Grinning face with big eyes.
Oh, mate. Very much so. I still love it, you know. I still love it. There was some absolutely stunning music. And I don't care if I'm biased. Oh, it's not giving me the angle that I was hoping for.
I share your bias.
Yeah. It's because you got great taste, mate. This is one of those situations where I swear there's a picture in here somewhere. His shadow messes it up a little bit. Okay, let's just bring this right back. About the tip of the gun, lower intensity. So that's clearly not right. So the shadow is my main interest. Okay, that is as sharp as it gets. No. We just have to remember that it was beautiful. Oh, we could do the old 90s thing. I need him slightly closer. Probably about there. He was a good cop. Just misunderstood. Oh. Oh, that is so cheesy. So I've tried to line up the shadow behind him with the shadow on him. And then zoom. Oh, come on, camera mode. Don't play with me like that. You're messing with my emotions. I need to go up, then readjust slightly. There's no way I can do it without having him on the wrong side of the screen. I don't think, but I'm kind of okay with that. I cannot get that position right though. It's no fun having bad eyes. Can I remove that? I almost want the cabinet, so the metallic bit, to be more diagonal. Sort of like that. But then you lose the effect with the things, which really is a artistic thing, and it rather amuses me or pleases me, but it's not actually something that works out well. And if I could, I would move further along, which I'm going to do actually. No. Yeah, because there was that phase where you always had loads of shadows from blinds across people's faces, like the supermodels and so on had loads of pictures like that, but I didn't have the space to work with. And we've still got a little way to go. I really don't think... Oh! Happy with that. I didn't actually expect to have enough resources to do that, because I didn't last time. I had to shoot that one with a revolver. Took me a while to think of the gun. Okay, so we've pretty much plundered this area. There's nothing in there. We've done that. That's a brick. Don't need it. It's time to move on.
Shit. It's jammed from the other side.
Here,
Pardon
boost
me?
up.
No, that's not such a good idea.
Well, I can't boost you up. How else are we gonna open it?
She's a smart ass, but she's right.
All right. Give me your foot. Now, just open it. Nothing else.
Sure thing.
Careful.
Okay.
While you're doing that,
Let's see.
just double check.
Okay. Ta-da!
Does that require a
Good job.
shiv? Generally when that happens, there's a fair few resources behind it. So, some of the other
let's
pictures.
Say we get a car from this buddy of yours. Then what?
Well, then we go find Tommy.
Marlene said he's your brother?
And more importantly, he was a firefly. He'd know where to take you.
Oh, okay.
He lives far from here, which is why we need the car.
Hey, look!
There we are. I'd missed this shot because I was taking a shot with that little dude there. So I need to zoom out slightly. Sorry, Joel, you will be removed from this picture. So I can't move any further across. Ellie is the most crucial part of this. So now, I wanted to drop down a little bit, but that's not going to work. Now I need to zoom in. So they're both on their own. Well, the gnome and Ellie are on their opposite intersections. So I'm quite happy with that. You wouldn't believe how much neck ache this causes, by the way. It's really odd. It gives me a headache just there when I do this. The things we do for art. But I can't stop myself doing it because I'm doing my best to rebalance the shot when it's at that angle, because the roll doesn't just on an axis, it sort of rolls like that sometimes. I want this just enough so it's just her and the gnome in there. I don't feel that I need any more of the background. In fact, maybe you could argue that's a bit too much. So let's experiment by increasing that again. No, we do need it. Let's try a little bit less. So 57. Oh yeah, that's why I'd done that. So I'm basically making the frog the most important part, or one of the most important parts. So I'll put it on there. And this is one of those situations. I know I need to reposition and re-angle, but you can't do that in pause. So I'm going to capture that.
Gnomes.
Yeah, those are gnomes.
Man, I had an art book filled with these. I always thought they were super cute. Not fairies, though. They creep me out.
Oh, okay.
All right, then.
I was looking to see if I could get a picture of her looking at the the fairy, but there wasn't anything interesting there. And the other one I got, which I'm trying to remember, I think is the last one that I took. It's actually down here. And I really liked the light, and I liked the cashier part of it. I'm going to try running down here and see what happens. Come on. Zoom out. Further, further. Oh yeah, that's 50, I think it's meant to be. So what I'd originally wanted was what I was trying to do is have the cashier, but in there, but also use these benches and everything as a leading line to Joel. Now I've placed him on the right hand side, and I'm starting to think, because that's what I did last time, It'd be better to actually have him more central. So having him here means that I was able to use the door as a frame for him because it's much darker image. Do I feel that the run-in is important? Yeah, I don't know if that works. Let's just pop that on there. Increase the intensity so that the door remains a blur, so it's just doing its function of framing him. And that gives me a better understanding about the running. Because of course there's nothing he's running from. So I don't know if it's actually a worthwhile thing to have in there. So using the cashier to frame him, the sign that is, to frame him is moderately interesting. And again, you don't really need to, because you can't see where he's run from. But what I actually feel this picture needs... Sorry, Ellie. I need you out of this shot. I need him on that central beam. So about here. And then we start all that dance again. And I've got it wrong. Oh no! Oh, that's frustrating. You've seen now. So it looks like there, so it's probably here. Oh, yes. While he's rubbing his beard, that's a good expression. He's more central under there, so I'm happy with that. Actually, oh. I need your opinion on this one, Carl. So, I rather like that everything's dark and you've got a small square where Joel is in. It doesn't matter about the doorway or anything. It's all like slightly out of focus, so that works quite well. But if I move in closer, try and keep this sort of, this low down looking up angle, and try and use the white light on the floor. So come sort of like chop that in half, so half the curve, stop about here, and use that as a leading line towards him, together with the slats at the top. And it
Hand
does.
on the face is good. Low angle is the way to go.
Yeah. Because I'm rather liking this. I'm going to take both, actually, because it saves you trying to type quickly before I do anything. Because this is a 3 gig hard disk, worth of hard disk space, so it's not like I'm struggling. Need a slightly higher, just so you can see that. I actually feel that this loses an awful lot, but I'm started, so I'll finish. a little bit better.
Further shot does it for me.
I think you're right. It lost so much here. Oh. So I'm trying to think how would be best to have a close-up shot. Something like that. And then he's not wistful
Closer
enough.
shot looks bright and friendly. Long shot more brooding and dangerous.
Yeah. And that's what I was going for. Because I set all this up just to have a look at it. And for this to work, he would need the 1,000-mile stare. Or he'd need to be a little bit, as I said, more wistful. I don't think that works at all. So, yeah. I shouldn't have been greedy. I'd got the shot I wanted. I should have been happy with that. So, let us continue. Oh, brain. Come on now. I cannot remember if there were anything over here. In the doorways. We'll come back to that later on. Now we're going to have a nose in here.
Oh, look at that.
And this is an image I hadn't taken. Last week. I'm rather tempted to. Don't need that much detail in it. Let's bring the grid up. That's about right, I think. You can see what it is. This is more a prosperity picture than anything else. Because from my memory, you rarely see that expression on her face in this game. That is proper joy. Looking at her, you can see why she doesn't smile much. That's not massively flattering, but I'm still having it. Don't be surprised if that doesn't make it to Instagram, but yeah,
Would you
bless her,
play it
she looked
before?
so happy.
No. But I had a friend that knew everything about this game. Apparently, there's this character called Angel Knives who'd... what was it? She'd punch a hole through your stomach before kicking your head off.
I was never a big fan of these things.
I wish I could play it.
I was. And then just got bored of them. I mean, like most of my generation, started on Street Fighter. Street Fighter 2 came out, and I mean, I was terrible at it. It was just a little bit too hard for me. But I was more than happy playing Mortal Kombat. That's kind of cool. And then Soul Calibur. Soul Calibur 2 was a fantastic game. But after that, I just didn't fancy playing them. I am getting strong War of the Worlds vibes from this. Doo doo doo
I
doo.
started on Heretic, then original Doom grinning face with smiling eyes.
Oh, Heretic was an amazing game. That really was. And one that even Nintendo stole some ideas from. So that just shows how great that game was. Oh, I'd forgotten about Heretic. Because PC-wise, I started on Wolfenstein 3D. I think that was the first game that I had played on there. Well, no, that's... Is that? Oh. I really don't remember. I'm trying to think now. Because it was my dad's PC was the first I ever played on.
Yes, Wolfenstein was before Heretic 1993.
Ah, yeah. Because first one I'd played on PC was on an 086, and it was like a millipede type game, which I'd played on the Atari, I'd played on the Amstrad and stuff like that. So it wasn't really anything exciting, but it was just a new console. But yeah, like proper gaming was that, Heretic, or was Prince of Persia first? Prince of Persia and Flashback, because they are most likely the reason why I never completed most of my homework. Tetris was another one that took way too much of my time.
Don't know those, sorry.
Ah, don't you worry none. We all have different gaming paths. But yeah, and Doom, played all of them. Absolutely loved them, bar number 3. Didn't enjoy that. Sorry, Ellie. You're just not that interesting, kid. I really like this sort of War of the Worlds vibe going on with that. So, I'm going to frame that as the center image. And again, this is one I didn't take last time. And I'm liking the...
In real life, I love these shots of dark sky and bright foreground.
It just...
Yes, very what W.
Yeah. But yeah, these... Like yourself, I like really high contrast things. As I say, dark background, light things. I also love really strong lines in shadows as well. So if you look at the pictures of Death Stranding, there's one I'm particularly proud of where I've got the main character like leaning against the, one foot against the wall, leaning back against it, and he's in a triangle of really sharp lines. So you've got a like really deep shadow and a really bright triangle that he's placed in, and I love that picture. I couldn't tell you which one it is, so you're gonna have to endure all the rest of them. But yeah, I really enjoyed that.
Hey.
But oh, Ainley, oh, you caught me, mate. How are you doing, sir? You all right? I hope you have been keeping well. Your robot has been very, very busy, just so you know.
I'm fine. Who?
Get on. Yeah, I'm very well. Yeah, I'm now on to the second phase of that process. So the robot I named after you.
Not real, but fine overall.
Oh no, what's up, mate? I hope it's nothing too serious, mate.
Mandatory evacuation. Evacuate to where?
What do you think? Quarantine zone. See, some places got a heads up before the infection showed up. Most didn't.
Man, must be hard.
A little sore throat.
Oh.
That ain't the hard part.
Take some paracetamol as try and get it early before it develops into a proper cold. So yeah, I don't want you getting ill. It's bad enough that it's turned into winter, but being ill at the same as well, that just sucks.
Too late for that, D.
Oh no. So, what you want, hot water, a slice of lemon, a cap full of whiskey or brandy, and a spoonful of honey. Mix that all in, leave it for a little while for the lemon to start breaking down and going into the hot water, and that'll help.
Insensitive for the temperature changes every year this time around.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I have a weird thing, actually. The only time I've ever had a flu, I've had it 3 times, on each occasion it's been in summer. I don't get flu in winter, I only get it in summer. Really strange thing. Sorry, I'm looking at photo opportunities for this one, but I don't think I'm going to get it.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a really weird one. As I say, I've only had it 3 times in my life, and that's 3 times way too many. But, yeah, it's always been on a hot summer. Which is probably why it's only been 3 times in my life, because we don't have hot summers here that often. Okay,
Man, this is kind of sad.
What is?
that's what we want. Oh, we needed to go sideways, actually. Field of view can't adjust. So we'll frame her on that poster, maybe? No, it's not enough contrast. Oh, no.
All this music that's just sitting here. No one's around to listen to it.
So about there. Sorry, Joel. That was close. So about there. Move that along. Reposition her. And I think I wanted slightly... No, I can't do higher. Depth of...
I finished Cloud 2.
Oh, you... Well done, mate. As I said, it drags on a bit. But at least you've got to the end of it and you've got all of the story. What did you think, though? I mean, I'm not expecting you to tell me you're really glad that
Really
you did
annoying ending.
it. See, it just drags on.
Can believe I couldn't kill her.
I know. After all that. But it's... They really, really banked on you giving a damn about her. For that ending, because it was a very brave ending, and personally I think they missed the mark. I didn't care about her at all. I mean, no, that's unfair. I cared a little bit about her because it was really sad what happened for her and what caused her to turn, but it was just half hour too long. So yes, it was quite frustrating. But at least you finished it. That's something. You know the entire story, because there's a few little things in there which I felt you needed to know.
If Cloud 3 is gonna be about Abby and that little asterisk T, I'll hate the developers.
Handiwork.
They can't do that.
Anybody else live in this town?
As I know, it's just
There's... I mean, I won't play it straight out, and I don't think I'm the only one. Well, I know I'm not, because you wouldn't either. But no, I think they would waste their time and money if they focused on I can't even remember her name. I'm going to call her Amy, but I don't actually remember what it is. Because she's just not that interesting a character. I don't think there was anything. Was there anything over there? So no, it's either one of the main characters, or they'll introduce, so like
I mean, it looked kinda like they want to copy Joel and Ellie with Abby and that little boy.
Yeah, but I don't think it had a positive enough response for them to get away with that. I just don't think it would work. I think there would be not quite riots in the streets, but I've forgotten the third number. But yeah, I think that game would bomb. It would be a terrible mistake if they did that. 21. So 5, 17, and 21. I mean, I quite liked the kid. But again, I don't think they're interesting enough to make a story with that character. So as I say, I feel they could probably get away with almost a complete reboot. So someone else...
You shot Tommy in the leg with arrow.
It was understandable, but I know what you mean. Because you have to... Well, I always try and bear in mind with things like this that both sides think that they're the good ones. And that helps me to accept things a lot more.
Jesus!
Whoa, Nelly. What the hell was that?
That would be one of Bill's traps.
Your friend a bit paranoid, maybe?
That's putting it lightly.
Mm-hmm.
What's the deal with this guy?
Well, he helped her smuggle...
I was kinda sad for the Abby's boyfriend, but that's all I think.
Yeah.
Let's hope we don't blow up trying to...
I forgot about him, actually. I'm not going to lie.
Jeez, Bill good with a bow?
I reckon he is.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. There were moments in that game that broke my heart, but it still doesn't make it a good game. It just meant that this was a great game. But yeah, I'd forgotten about him. Papa got a brand new toy. Nope.
Good shot with that thing.
How about we just leave this kind of stuff to me?
Well, we could both be armed. Cover each other.
I don't think so. Here. We can actually use this.
And if you're wondering, Ainley,
Come on up.
the reason why I know all this is because I played this last week. It's just the stream didn't actually happen. So, yeah, I don't have an incredible memory of this game. It's only been a week since I've worked this little puzzle out. So I don't want you sitting there going, oh my god, this guy's amazing. Because I'm not. And I am chuffed that I've actually got this. I mean, we've run on a little bit late, 5 minutes past 10, but we've got this to exactly where I'd left it before.
Shit.
Say goodbye. Oh, that's interesting. Last time I got a single shot.
Now listen. Bill ain't exactly the most stable of individuals. So when we get there, you let me do the talking. You understand?
I understand.
You gotta be clear on this. He don't take too kindly to strangers.
All right.
Bill's a good guy. He just definitely needs some time warming up to you. So
I mean, really, kind of pot kettle black with this guy, isn't it? He's exactly the same way. He takes a while to warm up to people. He trusts no one. And he's saying that about Bill. By the way, that's where I'm going to end the stream. So we're exactly where I was last time. And yeah, so I'll be editing these using Lightroom instead of Photoshop. So I'll get those onto Instagram. And maybe not tonight, maybe tomorrow. We'll see how we get on. But hopefully everything was successful. And I will have a recording of this so I can make a proper video ready for Monday. By the way,
See you later, grinning face. Hope I catch you someday again.
indeed, mate, it's always a pleasure. I have enjoyed it. So I'll see you later, Ainley. I'll see you later, Carl. And yeah, I hope to catch you all in the next one, guys. All right, goodbye.